So I often get asked, Faith, why don't you collab with anyone? Faith, do you know this Brony artist or this Brony personality? And the thing is, no, I don't, and I probably won't. I don't like to interact with other Brony creators often because there's just a lot of drama in this fandom. It's also one of the reasons why I don't go to cons or other events. The thing with this fandom is while I love it, I also hate it, simply due to the giant amount of drama proportional to the size of the fandom. You see, recently with the MLP movie, I was kind of live tweeting or something like that, I guess you could call it, up to the actual showing of the movie and afterwards. And one of it, I made a joke about the bronies coming in and therefore the cringe level is rising. An obvious joke, but people took that as an actual attack. Or more specifically, the people who already don't like me took it as an actual attack. And they made it seem like it was a serious statement on the fandom. Despite the fact the people who had some of the most retweets of doing that literally made the same joke, but justified it by saying, no, yeah, our theater was really cringy. The hypocrisy and the doublethink amongst this community is insane. And I'm not to say everyone, but I'm sure a lot of you guys out there have experienced it. I don't care if you don't like me, that's fine, that's whatever. I'm not here to be liked by everyone. I don't try to cater to everyone. But the real problem came in when Wubcake and they took this specific tweet of me mentioning that someone had made a joke about me and Silverquill after the movie to be about me bragging. Specifically, I mentioned Wubcake because she's a somewhat predominant voice actress in the community who I've had maybe 4 interactions with, who instead of reaching out to me in DMs for clarification, decided to go on this tirade about what I truly meant. And what she says I truly meant is that I wanted to say how horse famous I was, how popular I was, and how awesome I was. Yes, from this one tweet. This is the tweet. Listen, I don't really know you, Wub, but you're reaching. You're extrapolating so much malice from 148 characters that it says a lot more about you than it did in that little tweet. I never said I was this ultra famous brony or made any kind of claims of them saying how awesome I was. Literally in that tweet, when someone asked me what they actually said, I said they made a joke about me streaming or something, and something about Silverquill now being canon. Those aren't exactly boastful comments. Silverquill definitely got the better result there. You also say that because you didn't hear anyone mention me at the last BronyCon, that no one would, and that you demand proof? I'm not exactly sure why you think I would be recording in the movie theater afterwards, or that after hearing it, I would whip out my phone and ask them to reenact it so that I could prove that it happened. This wasn't some sort of bragging tweet, it was literally just me saying what happened. I don't go to cons, and the last event with bronies that I've ever been to was the Rainbow Rocks premiere, in which I didn't really get to interact with the fandom all that much as I was with a friend. So unlike you, it's kind of weird for me to see the fandom exist IRL and to hear people mention analysts, reviewers, or theorists, or whatever you want to call any of us in real life. That was the purpose of my tweet. But for some reason, you took it and ran with it, and when I questioned you about it, you wouldn't respond. That's kind of the reason why I don't associate with a lot of people in this fandom. Fair enough, I've totally been a dick in the past to certain people, and I don't expect them to like me. Again, I don't care if you don't like me, but you can't propagate straight up lies and then expect me to just leave it. Well, you also talk about me clickbaiting and how I only use tits and ass in my thumbnails, and that's how I get all my views, and how you work so hard to get yours, and how it takes so much skill. When your most viewed videos are suggestive and you read literal porn in your videos. Fair enough, I've gotten suggestive in some cases with thumbnails, but you read literal porn. I'm not sure why you're saying that it's bad for me to do something when you take it to that much more of an extreme. And if you actually look at some of my most viewed videos, they're not pornographic, such as the Celestia video with over 4 million views. There's no pornographic material or suggestive lewd thumbnail there. I don't have a problem with stuff like that, and I would think a porn artist, a literal porn artist, wouldn't either. But apparently you do, if it's just about someone you don't like. In this fandom, we have content creators of all types and stripes. And while we like to tote this whole thing of tolerance and exception, we're really just a group of people who like a show. And there's nothing special about our fandom. We're just the same as everyone else, and apparently we're just as drama-filled and cliquey. You see, a lot of us stay in our echo chambers. And I would say I would be part of that too, if it wasn't for the fact my chamber constantly fires back if they ever think I'm wrong. The people that I'm surrounded with who actually enjoy the show are never afraid to tell me that I'm just flat out wrong on something, and I'm never afraid to tell them that they're completely wrong. We have debates all the time and it's great. But that's not what happens with a lot of other circles. They only follow people who they 100% agree with. And the moment you say something that they don't agree with, well, they're gone. So it's not really a surprise that someone who hates me, paired with another person who used to constantly tweet about me who hates me, got a lot of likes on some sort of circle-jerking comment section about how bad I was for making those two tweets, or just tweeting in general. So Webcake, I have nothing personally against you. Whoever else was involved or not involved, I honestly don't really care. I'm not in your corner. I'm not part of your fandom. I make content for people who enjoy it. Be them bronies, anime fans, general cartoonists, or anyone else who happens to stumble across my channel. I don't need a label to define who I am, and I don't need your clicks. I hope you guys all live a long life hating. I say that not as a passive aggressive thing to say how much better I am than you, but I just say it to be honest. I don't care. Not in the same capacity that you apparently think I do. Obviously, I'm going to acknowledge straight up lies or misconceptions, but other than that, feel free to shitpost about me. Well, that's fine. I've grown my most during controversy. But with that, Pony Nation, I think I've pretty much summed up and said my piece. Webcake, you're free to actually talk to me or make a public statement. I don't really care, but I definitely was gonna get my side out there with how much you started tweeting about me. I've been Faith from Moliminous, guys. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.